Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. First carry for Nick Chubb. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That good for 22 and a first down.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Looking to throw again on second down. Mayfield. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 7 yards there and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Mayfield looks to throw. It's caught by OBJ. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw, Mayfield. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Browns take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. On that first drive, these guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. On first down, Trubisky. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
On third down, Trubisky. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Taken from just outside the 30. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you run into big-time races. Means they get...
And that's caught inside the 30. That one good for 37 yards.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Melvin Ingram dropping the hammer off the edge. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. And he's going to go down again. Devin Bush racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. Lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Trying to go back to Watkins, but now it'll be third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. On third down, here's Eckler. And it's a fumble. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. That's probably bringing back nightmares of last week, isn't it?
No doubt about it. Right now, I'm looking over at the coaching staff, and I'm seeing the wheels turning in their heads. And you know what is happening? They're remembering how they started the season in camp, even in the offseason where they emphasized ball security, and they're wondering why the message isn't sinking in.
Yeah, 5 turnovers last week, now 1 here in the opening quarter.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Throwing, Mayfield. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. So not sure how they feel about that. They had golden field position to start the drive after the fumble recovery, but they went backward and then got 3.
Well, let's go from gold to silver, because the silver lining is they got the 3, right? You were talking about the golden field position. They didn't take advantage of it. That has to feel like a letdown.
You always stand ready to pounce. Always. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
From the 27, Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sione Takitaki make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports. He'll field this at the 5. Oh, what a move. Officially, that'll be a 63-yard punt. Well done. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Browns drive about to get started. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good.
But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Garyon Conley. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now Trubisky. Open man is Switzer, complete. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Trubisky. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run. and just lost track, and it cost him.
Mike 58, right there.
From the gun on third down, it's Trubisky. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball. Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
From the 38, Mayfield looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Barrett. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. First down, Mayfield. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
On 2nd and 10, Mayfield. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. On third down, Mayfield. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. David Njoku. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
The defense is doing their best, but they're struggling right now. They'll look for some help from their own offense to keep them in the game.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down. No, but well, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And the Steelers on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Trubisky to throw, and it falls incomplete after all. Almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And he's got this down to the 35. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
On second down, Mayfield again. Oh, it stays up. Escaping the pressure right. Open man is Higgins. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 22-yard line.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. Sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get... And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. From 8 yards out. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9 all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on third down. They'll try the right side with Eckler. He'll have a first down past the 40. And finally brought down at the 38. And he will be taken down, but not before he gets this to the Browns' 38-yard line.
How about our reigning AFC Player of the Week, hot-footing it into the secondary on that run?
Yeah, nice long run. That's what got him the award a week ago. Maybe he's trying for 2 in a row here this week. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So third down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. Here is Ekeler. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And his kick is absolutely perfect. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half.
And he's into the clear. The 20. And he takes this way down deep into Cleveland territory. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 56 yards on the ground. Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They've got a first and 10 from the 10. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be second and goal. Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a second and 10. Johnson. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now it's Trubisky. And he connects with Ertz. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. So first and 10 now from the 30. And again this time to the tailback. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky.
18.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. This from 54 yards away. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. 30, 20, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Damian Ratley, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. they might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And he'll give it here to his running back. And it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on 3rd down.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Hey, 18.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Cleveland offense ready to go. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? 3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Here's Mayfield. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. And we're back now here in Cleveland. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Here's Switzer. Not a big deal on that one, just... Everyday 67-yard punt. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base He's on base. They bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm. A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's
playing. The drive, lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. 2nd and 14. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Going to give this time to the tailback. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
A very good return there. Give them an even 20 yards. Now the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing to start the drive. Hart.
We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hand, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Mike 42, Mike 42. I got you, son. I got you, son.
They'll run again here with Weber, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Stewart now on 1st and 10. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. From the gun, Stewart. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sione Takitaki in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Looking to throw. Stewart under pressure again, and down he goes again. Leonard Williams, the former number 6 overall pick, got the sack that time. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. Back to throw. Stewart. And that will be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better. "35 yards that time on the punt, and the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt. An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that Puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
A big play that time out of Chubb. 45 yards on the ground.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On first, again, they go with Bunker. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the Steelers' 32-yard line.
On second down, it's Weber. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. In a game that appears to have already been decided. A run for Weber. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's third down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. He's able to chew up 8 yards on the carry there, but still 4th down upcoming. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Browns, it's a 10th win on the year as they move to 10-3. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, it's going to all but eliminate them from the playoff picture as they fall to 5-8. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.